Amendment to the Authorization and Oversight Plan of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, offered by Mr. Connolly of Virginia.
Without objection, the amendment is considered as read. The gentleman from Virginia is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment directs the committee to scrutinize executive orders to ensure they don't exceed the President's authorities. My friends on the other side of the aisle objected so strenuously to the fact that President Obama was issuing executive orders because they felt that it exceeded presidential authority. This would simply add it to our work plan to make sure this president doesn't make the mistakes my friends on the other side of the aisle claimed were being made by the previous administration. I think this is a simple, common sense amendment, and protecting the president from himself sometimes is a very important role of this committee. I think it's huge. I think you're going to love this amendment. It's very, very good. It's really going to make a big, big, big difference, and the people are going to love it. And it will help keep America great. So I yield back the balance of my time, which is 4 minutes and 11 seconds, hoping that it wins some votes.
I will now recognize gentleman yields back. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Speaker Ryan has made it clear that the committee and all other committees will perform their constitutional oversight duties. We have obviously a key duty, role, and responsibility. We have such broad jurisdiction. Other committees also have that and have to go through and need to go through a rigorous oversight as well. It is the intention of the committee to continue its oversight work just as we have, and the plan includes both, on a variety of different issues. Also wanted to just note, going back to what Mr. Cummings said previously, I do concur with the idea, the notion, the commitment that we have to whistleblowers, that they have a right to contact Congress, interact with members of Congress, and we will fight in a very bipartisan way to make sure that is consistent, that is something that they can do freely and without retribution. I would note for the members, we have a hearing tomorrow with the Inspectors General. 72 Inspectors General, 13,000 people or so on their staffs. We rely very heavily on them to go back and look through and do their job. And that's why I prioritized for our committee to have a hearing with them, and that happens tomorrow. We also tomorrow have a subcommittee hearing specifically about whistleblowers. The ranking member mentioned that, and it's something that I want to make sure that we give that we pay keen attention to.
Could I ask the chair a question?
Yes, I will yield to the gentleman.
Does this mean the chair is opposing my amendment?
So, unfortunately, I am opposing the amendment. There is a lot, most of which I agree with. It says that we will specifically look at this, examine the recent, I'm trying to read from the part that I have some concerns with. I get concerned when we have such specificity on something that I don't know is necessarily true in there, and that's why I have some concerns with it. Each member is going to have to look at it for themselves, but I myself will be voting against it.
Can I just...
With that, I yield back. I've yielded back.
I heard you. Mr. Cummings, if you seek recognition, you could yield to me.
I recognize Mr. Cummings for 5 minutes.
I yield to the gentleman.
I thank the chair. I thank the ranking member. I thought the courtesy of yielding one more time might be in order, given the fact that I yielded back over 4 minutes of my time. The chairman claims to be concerned about excess wording. I'd be satisfied, I would say to the chairman, with a modification of the amendment so that it read, the committee will conduct oversight of executive branch directives and executive orders to ensure that they do not exceed their legal authority and that they adhere to the requirements of the U.S. Constitution and federal law, period.
Will the gentleman yield?
Well, I will certainly...
Yes. If the gentleman will withdraw his amendment, let's see if we can't work something out between now, and inevitably we're going to have to come back before the end of the day. If the gentleman withdraws his amendment, let me work with him
And-
in the intervening time and see if I can't find something that,
If the gentleman would yield, I'd be happy to do that and work with the chairman to try to find some common ground. I thank the chair, and I do,
Gentlemen-
I do withdraw the amendment.
gentleman withdraws the amendment with the intention of working together to try to find something in the next couple hours before we reconvene. Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.